Sovereign Game Chapter 4, Conceal Your Intentions by MJJTAYLOR. Like, subscribe, and share. Buy this book on Amazon, links below. The more they know, the less you control. Interpretation. Every ambition you have, every plan you make, every move you dream of taking exists first as a spark in your mind. That spark is fragile. It's not just an idea. It's your future in its most vulnerable state. The moment you expose it to the wrong eyes, it becomes a target. People envy what they can't control. They fear what they don't understand. They sabotage what threatens their own comfort. Conceal your intentions is not a command to be deceitful for the sake of it. It's a strategy for survival and success in a world where open plans invite open resistance. The truth is, most people are not ready to see your full vision. Some will laugh at it. Others will steal it. Some will quietly build walls against it before it has time to grow strong enough to defend itself. This chapter title is a reminder that not every truth deserves daylight. Timing is everything in power. If you speak your next move too early, you give the world the tools to stop you before you've even begun. But if you protect your intentions, if you nurture them in silence, you gain the one element every powerful figure in history has mastered: to act before anyone knows what to expect. The sovereign understands that revelation is not honesty, it's leverage. When you finally show your hand, it should feel like destiny, like the universe tilted in your favor, like no one could have prevented it even if they had known. Until that moment, you let curiosity swirl, you let rivals misread you, you let the world think you are harmless or confused. True power does not announce itself. It builds quietly, patiently, behind closed doors, until it is unassailable. To conceal your intentions is not to hide, it is to protect, to prepare, to choose the moment of revelation so that when you finally strike, no one can stop you, and everyone believes it was inevitable. Historical example: Cardinal Richelieu's Cloaked Hand, France, 1600s. Give me 6 lines written by the most honorable man, and I will find something in them to hang him. Cardinal Richelieu. France in the 17th century was a boiling pot of rival nobles, scheming courtiers, and fragile kingship. At the center of it all stood Cardinal Richelieu, the first minister to Louis XIII. Outwardly a devout servant of God and king, Richelieu mastered the art of never fully showing his plans. He built alliances that seemed impossible, whispered promises that meant different things to different ears, and all the while, his true aim was singular: to centralize France's power under the crown and under himself. Richelieu learned early that if his rivals understood his designs, they would crush him before his reforms could take root. So he acted in layers: one policy to distract, another to appease, a third quietly reshaping the kingdom's future. He leaked false intentions, stirred false hopes, all while keeping his real ambition hidden beneath piety and charm. By the time his opponents understood the scale of his influence, it was too late. Nobles who thought they were using him found themselves stripped of power. Foreign states who thought they were manipulating him discovered France had encircled them. Richelieu understood the oldest truth of politics: an intention concealed is an intention protected. Modern example: Netflix's Quiet Revolution, USA, 2000s. We're not trying to kill television, we're just giving people choice. Reed Hastings, Netflix co-founder. In the early 2000s, Netflix looked like a small, harmless DVD rental company. Blockbuster laughed at it. Cable executives ignored it. Hollywood assumed it was a niche business that would fade away. What no one realized was that Netflix had no intention of staying small. It was quietly designing a revolution. Instead of shouting their plans, Netflix concealed their true goal: to dismantle television itself. While competitors saw them as a postal DVD service, they were building streaming technology, forging studio relationships, and preparing a future where they would own both distribution and content. By the time the old giants understood, Netflix had already pulled millions of viewers away, changed habits forever, and built a digital empire that couldn't be stopped. Power moves best under a cloak. Netflix won because they allowed others to underestimate them. They revealed only what they wanted rivals to see: a small fish in a big pond. In truth, they were silently digging channels that would drain the entire pond dry. Folktale, The Jar of Fire, Persia, 1200s. A Persian king wanted to know which of his 3 sons was clever enough to rule after him. He gave each a sealed jar, telling them to guard it for a year. The eldest opened his jar immediately, hoping to find treasure. The second displayed his jar proudly to the court, boasting of his trust with the king. The youngest said nothing. A year later, the king called for the jars. The first son returned his jar empty. The treasure had been fake. The second's jar was stolen by jealous rivals. The youngest handed over his jar still sealed. When the king opened it, fire leapt out, filling the room with light. "Wisdom," said the king, "is knowing when to keep the flame hidden until its moment burns brightest." The boy who concealed his jar became king, not because he was the most eager or the loudest, but because he understood that a revealed secret is no longer power, it is prey. Tactical placement. Power often dies in the open air. The moment your next move is visible, it stops being yours. It becomes a shared secret, and shared secrets rarely survive intact. Every person you tell has a reaction, an opinion, a need to control, delay, or diminish it. The world does not simply witness ambition. It interrogates it, questions it, undermines it, and sometimes crushes it before it has a chance to take its first breath. Concealing your intentions is not about living in paranoia or constant secrecy. It's about protecting the integrity of your moves until they are strong enough to walk on their own. Like an architect building the foundation of a cathedral underground, you work quietly while others believe nothing is happening. And when the structure finally emerges above ground, it is already too solid, too magnificent, too inevitable to be torn down. In practice, this means you learn to resist the hunger for validation. Most people reveal their plans too soon because they crave applause, reassurance, or advice. But applause attracts envy. Advice attracts doubt. Reassurance attracts sabotage dressed as concern. The sovereign learns to let silence be their shield, to let curiosity do the talking while they prepare in peace. You can share fragments of your path, false trails, harmless hints, but the core of your strategy, the thing that truly gives you an edge, stays locked inside until the moment it cannot be stopped. Rivals are left guessing, allies are pleasantly surprised, and detractors realize too late that your move has already been played. Power thrives in timing. Concealment gives you time. It lets you build, refine, and gather momentum while the rest of the world is distracted by its own noise. Then when you finally reveal what you've been creating, it feels less like an announcement and more like a strike of lightning. Sudden, dazzling, impossible to block. Apply this in relationships. Don't reveal your entire heart or plan. Mystery can protect you and keep others intrigued. Leadership. Conceal long-term strategies until they're unstoppable, avoiding early sabotage. Reversal. A hidden intention can breed mistrust. Conceal too much, and people assume the worst. Sometimes transparency is a weapon too, used to build trust, rally allies, or intimidate opponents with the scale of your ambition. A sovereign knows when to cloak and when to reveal, always controlling the story, never becoming its prisoner. Closing thoughts. Every plan you have, every ambition that keeps you awake at night, begins as something delicate, an ember. Show it too early and the winds of envy, doubt, and sabotage will snuff it out before it ever becomes a flame. The world does not always want you to win. Sometimes even the people closest to you cannot help but fear your rise, resent your momentum, or simply fail to believe in your vision. Concealing your intentions is not about becoming cold or distant. It is about being wise. It is about knowing that silence is not emptiness. It is strength in its purest, most disciplined form. Every powerful figure history remembers understood this truth. Great moves are not announced, they are revealed. And when they are revealed, they arrive fully formed, undeniable, unstoppable. This chapter is your reminder that not every truth is meant for daylight. Some dreams need shadow to grow strong roots. Some plans need silence to gain speed. Speak less. Smile more. Let curiosity and doubt swirl around you while you work. Let people underestimate you, misjudge you, think you are harmless. Let them relax, lower their guard, and look elsewhere.